Hello Thomas YouTubers. On my last repair video I showed you how I fixed the battery carriage, the anti-battery carriage for the Talking Action Thomas. So now we're going to go after the Talking Action Thomas. We're going to remove this because we know it's working fine and there's no action to be taken as far as maintenance on this item on the Clarabelle. So what we're going to do, we're going to be working on the Thomas. Hopefully that when we take it apart, the inside is halfway decent, and I can work on it. But we'll find out here. So let's get started on it. And it should lift up. There's a couple of tabs right up underneath here that's connected to here. And if you put too much pressure on the rear back here, these little tabs will break off. So make sure you don't over pressure the front. All right, let's take a look. It's missing its weight right here. There should be a little weight right there, and it's not there anymore. But we'll put that this side. There's nothing to be fixed on it. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and take off the, well, let's just take an initial view here. I got a broken wire here and a broken wire here. These are the positive and negative wires that go to the battery carriage, and they connect right here. They connect right here on the circuit board. The bottom one is negative and the red one above it is positive. So let's go ahead. All right, before we take this all apart and start stripping stuff and all this kind of, let's just see if we can get the anti-battery carriage to just a temporary connection here and see if we can get anything out of it. See if it makes any noise. Let's take a look here. Let's see if I can wind these wires together. And debut. Let's see what happens.
Right, Thomas. Here we go.
All right. Hey, just learned something. It's an, I don't know which one it is. Not yet. I'll look it up here. But it's an English speaking. Isn't that something? They're rarer than the Japanese version. It's not moving. Okay. That could be another problem. We'll figure that out. Hey, but we know the chip is working. That's cool. All right. Let's move on to the next step, and that's to find out why the motor's not working. Okay, while I was in between takes here, I just turned it off, the off and on switch off and on a couple times, because sometimes what will happen is carbon will build up on side the contacts of the brushes inside the motor, and you got to break that carbon. And so here it goes.
Thomas. Here we go.
So it runs. Now the only thing else we got to do is to check it to see if it will activate.
That was fun.
Let's move on to that. All right, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to connect the coupler here, and that'll help pull it along without pulling these wires apart. So let's go ahead and try to do that. All right, I need to get a couple more tools at the desk that I didn't have, but we're going to try to connect these two up so they can pull it along on the track and see if the activation portion of this loco works. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on that. I gotta find that little keeper. Where'd it go? There it is. Here's a little keeper sitting on top of that right there. Now hopefully I can hit the keeper, not the coupler. Hopefully that'll hold it on for a little while. Let's back up. Okay. Now I'm going to run the wires through the coupler. Okay, that's done. Move on to the next part. Okay, the next part, we're going to lift up the motor off the frame so we can slide this coupler. Right here, we're going to slide this coupler inside right there. Right there is where we're going to slide it. There's 2 screws holding it on, so let's loosen it. Okay. Now we're just going to lift the motor up a little bit, like right there, make a gap. Okay, then I'm going to come in here. Let's tighten it up so you can see what I'm doing. Come in here, slide the coupler in, right in there. Okay, it's on. It's connected. There we go. Now we're going to put the screws back on. Okay. Next, we're going to put these wires back together. Okay, let me open it, bag it up, go the wrong way, open it up a little bit. All right, I'm not going to put the shell back on it because there could be other things that's wrong, especially with the activation portion of it. And then I have to get in that. I don't want to take it all the way back. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take it out on the track and see how it runs. Okay, we got Talking Action Thomas. I don't know if it's English edition or American edition. We're going to find out here in a minute and give it a run.
I'm Thomas. Here we go.
So it looks to be doing pretty good. All right, change the chugging sound, stop the music. All right, let's move it back up on the workbench and finish it up. Okay, that was an easy thing. There wasn't nothing wrong here. This is all good. It was just pulled apart. The wires were pulled apart. And you know what? After I saw that it was speaking English, now I realized, oh, okay, this is not a Japanese toy because look at the condition. I have never seen Japanese toys this bad. Okay, but what we have here is we got this wire right here, original. And I'm just gonna, let me tighten up a little bit here. Wrong way. What I should do and what I'm going to do is 2 different things. If this toy wasn't over 20 years old, hang on, let me get something to point with. If this toy wasn't 20 years old, I would remove these 2 wires right here, strip them out, because that's the black and the red wires that are running back here that's disconnected, and I would put new wires in. But every time I work on these guys, when I start working here, these wires come off. There's 9 wires I touch, and it's just really old and fragile, the wires are, and you wind up fixing one and breaking 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the wires here, tint them with solder, and then solder them together. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that next. All right, next step is I'm going to wrap these wires together, black on black, red on red. Also, I have the little insulators already on there. So when I get them done, they're already on there, and I heat shrink them right on down to cover the exposed wire. Now my fingers are going to get all in the stinking way here. I don't know how to do it without my fingers getting in the way, but I'm going to do my best here so you can actually see what I'm doing. Red on red. All right, now it's time for some solder. Gonna put a little bit on the tip, and let's put some solder on it. That might present a problem getting over that little hump right there. I might have to cut it with my pliers. All right, they're together. All right, I'm gonna see about making that little hump smaller. All right, let's see if the wire will go, the insulator will go over it now. It looks like it is. Okay, that one's on it. Let's put this one on it. All right, the next step is to get on it with a hot gun and shrink this down to protect those wires. All right, the next tool I'm going to use is an industrial heater gun, and we're going to melt these little green insulators. All right, I'll turn it on, let it get up to heat. Now this guy can get really hot, so you got to, if you get one, make sure you watch what you're doing and so you don't melt other things. Get on it a little bit. And that should be it. Let it cool down a little bit before you touch it. All right, let's turn it on and see if it still works.
Right, Thomas. Here we go.
Yep.
Right, Thomas.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Stuttering a little bit.
That was fun.
Okay, the last step, hopefully, is I can close this all up without breaking anything. So let's, oh, one other thing really quick. I noticed I'm missing something right here. There should be a bar across there. And I had to borrow one from another loco. And because when I put that, coupler on, it just fell right back off, and I had to go look to see why. So we're going to put it back on so we don't lose the coupler. Okay, now the coupler's on, we're going to close it up here. So let's go ahead and close it up. Okay, now put the shell back on. Oh, let's take this off. Last piece to put on is the face. Let's try to tighten up a little bit. All right, nice and closed up. And back up a little bit. And we're going to put them, and we're going to take them out on the track. Okay, the last step is to put this English-speaking Thomas up on the track and give it a run.
Right, Thomas. Here we go.
Thanks for watching. Okay, I know I sounded like I quit the video because I said thanks for watching, but I thought to myself, hey, this is a highly sought after loco because it speaks, the Thomas speaks English. So I decided I'm going to beautify it and just make a couple of couple of changes, couple swap outs. And the first thing I'm going to do is easy. It's just remove this all messed up Clarabelle. Get it out of the way and put a nicer one in. Next thing I'm going to do is replace this messed up cover on Annie with a nice one. All right, so we're going to do that now. All right, the last step is to replace the, I got a good face. It was on a bad loco, but it's a perfect little face. I'm gonna put this and replace this messed up face with a good face. It just comes unsnapped right here. Open it up a little bit. Okay, next, let's put the new face on. Oh, that's the old face. All right, now that, oh, let's spin Clarabelle around so you can see her. There we go. Now it is a first-class locomotive. Thanks for watching.